What language are you thinking in right now?
Wait, what? That's a strange question to start with.
Is it? Because most English learners study grammar, learn vocabulary, practice speaking, but they never ask themselves, what language is happening inside my head?
Okay, that actually made me think. When I speak English, I still translate from my native language. Always. Every single sentence.
Exactly. And that's the problem. That's why today we're talking about something most teachers never tell you. We're talking about how to think in English, not just speak it.
And trust me, when you stop translating and start thinking directly in English, everything changes.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Real Talk, the podcast for people who want to actually use English, not just study it. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sarah. And if you're new here, hello. This podcast is for intermediate English learners, around B1 level. We speak clearly, we don't use crazy difficult words, and we always explain things step by step.
Today's topic is really special to me, Sarah, because I remember when I had this exact problem. I was learning English for 3 years, and my speaking was okay, but it was slow. Every time I wanted to say something, I had to think in my language first, then translate, then speak.
Oh, I know that feeling. It's like your brain has a little translator inside, and that translator is very, very slow.
Haha, yes, exactly like that. So today, we're going to talk about what does it actually mean to think in English, why it's so hard for most learners, and, most importantly, how you can start doing it. Today, not in 5 years. Today.
We also have a little surprise for you at the end of the episode. Something that might completely change how you see language learning. So stay with us.
Okay, Sarah, let's start with the basics. When we say think in English, what does that actually mean? Because I think a lot of people imagine it's something magical. Like suddenly your whole brain switches to English.
Right. Like you wake up one morning and boom, you're dreaming in English, ordering coffee in English, even arguing with people in English.
Haha, have you ever argued in English in your dream?
Actually, yes. And I won the argument, by the way.
Amazing. But seriously, thinking in English doesn't mean you forget your native language. It means that for some moments, some situations, some topics, you can use English words and ideas directly without going through your first language.
It's like a shortcut in your brain. Instead of native language thought to translate to English words, you just go straight to English.
And you know what's interesting? Babies don't think in words at all. They think in images, feelings, and experiences. And then they connect words to those experiences. That's why children learn languages so fast.
So when we learn English as adults, we're trying to do something similar. Connect English words directly to our thoughts and experiences, not to the words in our native language.
Exactly. Not word to word, but meaning to word.
But Mike, if it sounds so logical, why is it so hard? Why do most people still translate in their heads after years of learning?
Good question. I think there are a few reasons. The first reason is school. When we learn English in school, we almost always learn it through our native language. The teacher explains grammar in our language. The textbook has translations. Everything is connected to translation.
Yes, I remember my English classes. The teacher would say, the word apple means, and then a word in our language. And so in my brain, apple is connected to that word, not to the actual fruit.
Right. The word apple should make you think of a red or green fruit, something sweet, something you can bite into, not a word in another language.
That's a really interesting point. So the connection goes the wrong way.
Exactly. And the second reason is fear. When we speak our native language, we don't think about how to say something. We just say it. But in English, many learners are afraid of making mistakes. So they think very carefully. They check everything in their head.
And that checking happens in the native language.
Yes. So fear of mistakes actually keeps you inside translation mode.
Wow. So the more relaxed you are, the easier it is to think in English?
In my experience, absolutely. When I'm nervous, I translate more. When I'm relaxed and comfortable, English just comes out.
Okay, so let's get practical. What can people actually do to start thinking in English? What worked for you, Mike?
The first thing that really helped me, and I know it sounds simple, is narrating my day, in my head, in English.
Can you explain that a little more?
Sure. So, for example, in the morning I wake up and I think, okay, I need to make coffee. Where is my cup? Oh, it's on the table. Simple things, not complicated. Just describing what I see and what I do, in English.
Oh, that's actually genius. Because you're not translating. You're just describing reality in English.
Right. And at first it feels strange. You might not know all the words. Maybe you want to say, the thing you use to make coffee, and you don't know the word coffee maker. But that's okay. You figure it out. You look it up. And then that word stays with you because you actually needed it.
I love that. What else?
The second thing is, stop using bilingual dictionaries.
Wait, really?
I know. It sounds scary. But think about it. When you look up a word in a bilingual dictionary, what do you get? A word in your language. And then your brain connects English word to your language word. Translation again.
So what should we use instead?
English to English dictionaries. Like Cambridge or Merriam-Webster. When you look up a word, you get an explanation in English, with examples in English. And yes, at first it's harder. But your brain starts thinking in English automatically.
That's actually something I've been doing recently. And it really does feel different. When I read a definition in English, the word feels more real? More connected to meaning.
Exactly. And the third tip, which is maybe the most powerful, is finding topics you love in English.
Oh yes, tell me more about this one.
So, what are you interested in? Maybe cooking, maybe fashion, maybe football, maybe psychology. Whatever it is, find that content in English. Watch YouTube videos about it. Read articles about it. Listen to podcasts about it.
Because you're already emotionally connected to the topic.
Yes. And when you're emotionally connected, your brain is more open to learning. You don't even feel like you're studying. You're just watching a video about something you love, but in English.
For me, it was cooking videos. I started watching cooking channels in English and suddenly I knew all these words. Simmer, dice, fold in the egg whites.
Haha, fold in the egg whites. That's very specific.
Well, I watched a lot of baking videos, okay?
Okay, Sarah, I want to stop here for a second, because I want to share something that completely changed my understanding of this topic, and I think it might surprise some of our listeners.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to say.
Maybe. So, here's the question. Is it actually possible for everyone to think in English? Or is it something only special people can do?
Most people would say, oh, it's easier for some people. Some people have a natural talent for languages.
Right. That's the common belief. But here's what's actually true, and this is backed by research in linguistics and cognitive science. Everyone can think in a second language. It's not about talent. It's about one thing and one thing only.
And what is that one thing?
Exposure. The amount of time you spend inside the language. Not studying it, being inside it.
Wait, so it's not about how smart you are?
No.
It's not about having a perfect memory?
No.
It's not even about having a great teacher?
It's about time inside the language. And here's the part that really surprised me when I first learned this. Research shows that it takes approximately 150 to 200 hours of comprehensible input, meaning English that you actually understand, to move from thinking in translation to starting to think directly in English for simple, everyday topics.
150 to 200 hours. That sounds like a lot.
It does. But think about it differently. If you spend 1 hour every day inside English, watching, listening, reading, thinking, that's 200 hours in less than 7 months.
7 months.
7 months to start thinking in English. Not perfectly, not for everything, but for real, everyday situations? Yes.
You know what? When I started this journey, I thought it would take my whole life. I thought some people just can't do it. I thought maybe I'm one of those people.
And now?
Now I think in English probably 30% of the time. Maybe 40. And it keeps growing. Every week it's a little more natural.
And that's the thing. It's not a switch that turns on one day. It's more like a sunrise. Slowly, slowly, more and more light.
That's actually beautiful, Mike.
Don't tell anyone. I have a reputation to protect.
Okay, let's bring it all together. What are the key things from today's episode?
Number 1. Thinking in English means connecting English words directly to meaning and experience, not translating from your native language.
Number 2. The reason most people still translate is because of how English is taught in school, always connected to translation, and because of fear of making mistakes.
Number 3. Practical things you can do today. Narrate your day in English in your head, switch to English dictionaries, and find content in English about topics you already love.
And number 4, the big one. This is not about talent, it's about exposure. Give yourself 150 to 200 hours of real English input, and your brain will start to change.
And the final thought, and this is the one I want you to take with you today. You are not a person who speaks English. You are becoming a person who thinks in English. And those are two very different things.
Speaking is a skill. Thinking is an identity.
Exactly. And once English becomes part of how you think, not just how you speak, you've crossed a line that most learners never cross.
So our challenge for you this week, try to narrate just 10 minutes of your day in English, in your head, when you wake up, when you make breakfast, when you're on the bus.
Just 10 minutes. See what happens.
And if you try it, we want to hear about it. Leave a comment, send us a message. Tell us, what did you think about? What was hard? What surprised you?
We read every message. Seriously, every one.
Thank you so much for listening today. If this episode helped you, please share it with one person who is learning English. One person, that's all we ask.
We'll be back next week with another episode. Until then, keep thinking in English.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.